how big is the house you live in currently that you bought sight unseen, and how much did you pay for that?
This was,
I
we
think it was
paid,
something like 350 square meters.
yeah, it's huge.
Okay,
We've got
wow.
two living rooms. This is a small living room. Across there, there's a huge, maybe three times the size. And then you have a hallway. And then through that door at the back is the kitchen. And there's a bedroom downstairs. That's what the Spanish typically have. But you could use it as a dining room. We've got a bedroom in there. And then upstairs, we've got another three bedrooms. The patio, how long, you know, lengths and things.
Terrace
The terrace is
must be
ridiculous.
30 meters long, I guess, at the front of the house.
Well, what did you guys pay for this house?
54,000 euros, which works out
At the
around, at
time,
the time, it was
47.
47,000 pounds.
All right, so today we're going to head over to the beautiful country of Spain with my new friends Merv and Debbie. Hi, Merv, Debbie, how you guys doing?
We're really good.
Really good.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of the podcast and share a little bit about your life and your experience. And for the viewers who are interested in moving to Spain, we'll break down the cost of living to give them an idea if it's an ideal place for them. All right.
Definitely.
So let's start by you guys giving us a little bit of backstory about you two, where you're from originally, and how you landed in Spain.
Well, originally I'm from Lincolnshire, which is in the Midlands in the UK. It's on the east coast, so roughly in the middle of the country. Um, uh, Basically, we decided to retire early. I'd had enough of work, didn't really want to carry on. I got to like 63 and I thought, you know what, I've done enough.
Yeah.
I've done my time. I'm going to get out, while I can, still young enough to enjoy it. Fortunately, we've had the funds to be able to do that, which has been great. So uh, between us, we've got a couple of small pensions, and living out here, we don't need a great deal to live on. So,
shall I tell them where I'm from?
yeah.
I'm originally from South Wales. But then I married, this is our second marriage, which is amazing, by the way. Second time round is
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a second timer.
Congratulations, you guys.
No offense to the first timers, I know you probably find your first person straight away. But yeah, I've traveled the whole of the UK, a bit of the world with my first husband, and then settled in Lincolnshire. Tried to leave Lincolnshire, but something was holding back, obviously, meeting Merv. And we met on a dating site called Match.com.
Ooh.
And when we turned up to the date, we were wearing the same colour outfits. That's freaky. I had a pink shirt, he had a pink shirt, and black jeans. It was like as if these couples were, yeah, that was the universe going, yes.
It was like, yeah, it was destiny.
It was. I swear to you, I never had that ever. But anyway, so yeah, as Merv said, we ran a business for 5 years in Lincolnshire, which, don't get me wrong, it was amazing, and we had such a great experience. And we're helping
it was
community.
a really good experience. We were renting a big building, and the landlord wanted to put the rent up, so we just thought, we'll stop now while we're able to. And we didn't want to go into the red, so while we're still making a little bit of money, we thought stop now and call it a day.
We then touched on Spain. We were like, oh, Spain. I'd only been to Spain once. Had you been to Spain?
Not main. Yeah, I had one mainland Spain.
Yeah.
Been once.
Yeah.
I think I was about 19 at the time, so it was in northern Spain, not far from Barcelona, which I did visit while I was there, but we'd never actually visited either of us southern Spain, particularly Andalusia.
But saying that, we love the culture. So we love the music. We love the way that they're very laid back. It fits us, even because I don't see people as where you're from. I see people as what you like. We're just humans, aren't we? And we happen to be, we always said we were born in the wrong country because we fit better over here because of our lifestyle. So yeah, so we decided on Spain then, and that was it. somehow randomly I find this website, Inland Andalusia, and we start looking and we're going, oh my God, they are so cheap, these houses. Initially, we start on houses which are just £30,000,
Sure.
right? But with this great agent, they go and get these videos, and they are advising us, no, Deb, this is not a great area. Fair dues, didn't they, Merv?
Yeah.
Every time we were randomly choosing these places all over Spain, and they were going, this is okay if you are from here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we were getting a bit fed up looking, weren't we?
Well, we looked at a lot of different properties in a lot of different places. So.
Randomly, we found this beautiful bungalow, and then we got told when they went there, there's a massive olive factory right on your doorstep. The noise and the smell would just, so fair dues, they were telling us, weren't they? The noise, So then I happened to see this house, and I honestly, emotionally, and I'm sure people who watch this will have the same thing where they get a house wherever, you have an emotional connection straight away. And I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's my house. And Merv came in from work. I happened to be working on the laptop at home, obviously not working, looking at property. And Merv came in and he's like, what's wrong? I thought, Merv, I found our house. And I was hoping he'd like it. And we just loved it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you found this house online?
Online.
So you felt that emotional connection online.
Honestly,
looking at it.
I know, and I'm not afraid of it. I've never bought a house like that. I've owned a few houses. Merv obviously has owned a few houses separately. We've never done that before, have we?
If you'd have asked me probably, 10, 15 years ago, would you have bought a house just off seeing a video? I would have said no.
I'd say you're loco.
But once we saw the video of the house, we didn't really know where it was. Obviously we saw the name of the place, where we bought it, but we didn't know the area. We'd never visited the area.
No.
But what I ended up doing was, once we'd seen the video of the inside of the house, going on Google Maps and following the road through the village where we live,
making sure there was roads. Maps, and
you could see a lot of the other houses in the village, and everywhere looked clean and tidy. There didn't look any buildings that were run down. So I thought, well, that actually looks really, really great.
Yeah.
So we ended up putting a deposit on the house, and
But what I should say, what we should say, take a step back. When we did that business together, by the way, I should say, we both had very good jobs before we even started it. And we took a massive leap of faith, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because Merv's been an engineer all those years. I've been in what I've been. And suddenly we both also, we didn't know we were going to be working good together. You don't know till you try it, do you? And I think we started on a journey of trusting and jumping in and having a go and taking each day as it comes, without, sometimes people process things too long, and but what if that happens? What if that? We just went, you know what? We
just taking a chance that it is going to work out.
Yeah. Thinking about moving abroad? Adventure Freaks is packed with resources to help you every step of the way. Want immigration support? We connect you with experts who understand the process inside and out, giving you the most up-to-date, reliable information. No more sifting through outdated websites or confusing embassy pages. You can click on the country you're interested in and scroll down and see our helpful links here. Here's immigration and visas, which will connect you with an immigration lawyer in that country. Curious about life abroad? Talk to expats who've already made the move, all of which we've done podcasts with on our YouTube channel. Whether it's day-to-day living or navigating local bureaucracy, they've been there and can share their firsthand experience. You can also book a one-on-one consultation with me. I've spoken with hundreds of expats and professionals around the world, and I'm here to help you navigate the process and find the right destination for you. Not sure where to go? Our Ideal Destination Finder can help. Answer 20 simple questions and discover the top 3 countries that match your lifestyle and priorities, all based on your answers. Plus, you can dive into our helpful articles covering everything from finding housing to understanding healthcare abroad. AdventureFreaks.com makes it easy to get the answers you need straight from the source. If you're ready to start your journey, we're here to help. Yeah.
So I think that started that kind of mindset. And then, of course, when the house, then we give it, that was a success, 5 years. We did win an award at that thing, didn't we, as well?
Yeah,
National Fitness Award, we got a lot of accolation from it. Anyway, I think that's got us into that. Whereas normally when you're older, you're much more, be careful.
A bit more reticent.
Yeah, I think that opened ourselves up to, look, we did the hub and that was fine. It's almost like, if you take a chance. And we always said, do you know what? Even if we have to use it as a holiday home, but we did do. The guy who we bought, the girl, Hayley, we bought through, she came and did another video. She did a bit more, and we had trusted them because they steered us from other properties, didn't they? And you know what? It was meant to be, because I swear to you, this is the most amazing place I've ever lived. And I've lived in a lot of places, being in the military. Yeah.
That is really...
I know.
That's great.
I'm too over the top, I know, but I am just telling you, it was like the instinct was, even though we couldn't see it, was COVID on at the time. Hence, that's why we probably would have come over on the plane. We
would definitely have come over and seen it. If it hadn't been for COVID, obviously, with all the travel restrictions, we would have come over, visited the area. But clearly we couldn't do that because of COVID and the travel restrictions. So we just took a leap of faith and hoped it'd work out.
And it did.
And it's been fine.
Been amazing. So that was the journey. And then the initial thing was, now we'll work in the UK for a few years so we can afford the nice things. Because me and Merv obviously had previous marriages, so our resources weren't as much as if we'd been married 30 or 40 years. So we were like newbies. Yes, I had a military pension. You had 2, 3 private pensions.
Private pensions.
But in the UK, there is no way we could have retired. The cost of living for everything would have totally stopped us. We couldn't even go part-time, could we?
No, not really.
No, we were on quite a considerable, you don't mind us sharing it? No. He was on 30 grand, I was on 30 grand a year. And when that power hike, all the power, electric, gas bills, and even the food that now has happened since we've been here, we'd have barely, wouldn't we? We had 2 vehicles.
Yeah, we'd probably have ended up selling one car and just having one.
We would have. Yeah.
It would have been more of a struggle.
It was.
But great out here. Everything's reasonably priced. So, even though there has been inflation in Spain, and yes, it is more expensive than it was 2-3 years ago, but it's still very, very reasonable.
Sure.
Cost of living here.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you can see the people who watch my videos, and we, and we focus on, finding really beautiful places to live where you can stretch your income. And my main demographic, the big 3, are US, Canada, and the UK. And they're the 3, and I call them the big 3 now because because the cost of living is so high, and there's so many people that are living paycheck to paycheck now that they really can't save money or enough money to retire comfortably in their own country. Out of curiosity, you guys like the Dominican Republic, you go there every year, but you chose Spain to be closer to home. How much does it cost for a one-way ticket to just fly to UK from where you live now?
Oh my gosh. We could go Ryanair or whatever, but we don't. We like a little bit more luxury because we can afford it, obviously now. We go Jet2, don't we? And it's what would you say?
I think we paid we went recently just before Christmas, and I think it was roughly £90 each.
We know someone who works in the UK, they're British, and they fly, and I think she pays about 40 quid, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Choose to pay a little bit more because
I mean, that was
we
included.
like,
That
yeah,
included
hand luggage,
hand luggage
cabin
and
bag,
and the
yeah,
cabin bag,
yeah,
and I
each.
think and a suitcase. So on the way back,
Yeah, on the way back,
on the
it
way
was,
back, we had a
yeah.
suitcase. But
Well, Merv and Debbie, let's dive into, you guys had to do a visa, right? There you had to qualify for a visa. Explain to the viewers what visa you chose and if there was some kind of minimum income requirement that you
There is.
had to meet to move to Spain.
So the only one was open to us was a non-lucrative visa,
Yep.
which means you have to retire. And we're at the good age, so we were definitely able to do that. But we didn't realize, we thought you had to have cash. You know, when we first looked at it, we thought, oh, we haven't got that much cash all in one big lump. We've got it in other ways. And they don't want it just in cash, which is brilliant for us. So the first year is 28,000, is it?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was
Obviously, check
28,000.
online. You can check online on the Spanish.
That's for an
web-
individual though, right, Debbie? Isn't
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm classed as a
28,000,
second.
yeah.
Yeah.
If obviously if you're a married couple, I think it was 32,000
32 it
euro.
jumps up to? Okay.
Yeah. So you don't need the full amount
No,
for the second person.
we didn't have any
so.
cash, did we? Let's be honest. Let's be
Well,
honest
yes,
with people
we had
here.
some cash.
We had a tiny. How much was it?
Well, it wasn't a great
5,000?
deal, yeah.
£5,000. No, we didn't. We had it in pensions. That's how we had our money, and that is exactly what got us here. But Merv did have three, didn't you? Three little pensions.
Yeah,
well,
very
three.
small.
Yeah, and I had the one. My one is enough. Really, we almost live on my one, don't
Yeah,
we?
pretty much.
And then we draw down Merv's when we need to top up occasionally. Yeah. So the Spanish, fair dues, they didn't expect us to have 30 odd grand. Like, boom, boom. A lot of people think you've got to have it
in
fluid.
the bank ready to use.
No,
but
no.
that's not the case. As long as, I mean, if you've got a pension fund and save pension funds worth 100,000, then, you know, that is enough. And then if you've got, you know, like Debbie's got a military pension, so that's then taken into account as well. Then if you've got a state pension on top of that, then
which Merv gets.
I'll get my state pension this year. So then that's taken into account as well.
Yeah.
You know, even income you haven't got yet,
exactly,
it's still taken into account for the visas you have to apply for further down the line.
And what we should mention, because this is something that we were very lucky again, Merv had these pensions in the UK, obviously not in Europe. And so he downloaded those and moved them to a European recognized pension company.
Okay.
Because
Smart.
that was then, so the amount of money, if we would have left in the UK, they would have been taxing us on the full amount. Whereas now, all we get taxed on is whatever it makes. So they recognize, say it was 90,000, they recognize we already have 90,000, didn't tax us on that, tax us on anything we make above that. And that's important for people because
you do need to get
you need
good
financial
advice as you know, to what you need to do with your money before you actually move, make that move to Spain.
And make sure European compliant. Ours is in Jersey, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they are classed okay, but just make sure a lot of people have a home in the UK and they have their pension, and I just think, oh, it's too late for them. Once you moved, you're in a financial, situation. But before you even get on that plane or apply for that visa, we looked into all that,
you do need, obviously, depending on your income. Obviously, everybody's different, but you do really need to take good financial advice before you actually make the move. So.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. That's great advice and great information. The NLV is typically what retirees pursue. Just to go back, for an individual, you need to show an income of 28,000 per year. We do have partners in Spain that work with immigration. They're Lexity. We'll put the link in the description below because they do free consultations and people can talk with them to make sure that they can meet the income requirements and all the additional.
I had English and Spanish law. So that's a good thing, attribute, like you're saying, someone who's in Spain, rather than if you're in Britain or America, you're just hearing American law or English law. But someone who's got both sides of the spectrum. Also, there's the other things of that non-lucrative visa, is which some people who are watching this may have a problem with. We're very lucky, is health insurance, because for the obviously this year, Merv could get public health insurance now because he's 66 in June, so he could, and it's called an S1. I would then be able to go on that because I'm married to him, but you have to still pay. Now we are keeping our private health insurance because we just don't want to do anything, do we?
I mean, at the moment for us, it's not too expensive.
No.
Roughly, at the moment, we pay just over €200 a month.
Yeah.
For your private insurance?
Yeah,
private insurance.
That is for dentist, physiotherapy, all of your hospital, health checks, doctor surgery, la la la.
It doesn't cover all your dental work.
Is that each, or is that for both of you?
That's for both of us.
$200 a month for both of you. Is that like a full coverage plan?
Euros,
yeah.
€200 a month.
That's without any co-payment restrictions.
That's no co-payment. That is honestly, and we've used it. This is our second year going with the same company. And I swear to you, the problem for people listening to this, though, is that if you've got a pre-existing condition, which thankfully we don't take any medication, we don't smoke, we like a little drink occasionally, but generally we don't have any parameters. If you do have those things, it's worth definitely shopping around, and you probably know some health organizations that you can. We compared about 3 or 4 different health, and this was really cheap. This one, you need to speak to other people, and they don't get it that cheap. So if you've got no health conditions and you're straight up, and you're going to get it quite reasonable. But if you've got some pre-existing, like diabetes or heart conditions, unfortunately, it's going to cost you more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's great information. Fantastic information.
And I turned 66 this last year, and the insurance companies run their policies, health insurance policies, from January to December. So we've just had a renewal this January for this upcoming year, and it went up €4 from last year.
That's it.
So it's, at the minute, it's affordable for us. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because for the viewers in the United States watching this right now, to get full coverage for both of you for $200 a month, and you're retired in this beautiful place, and we're going to talk about your house and how much you guys paid for your house and what you can buy homes for in some of the most beautiful parts of the world where you're at in Europe. It's astonishing to people, because healthcare in the United States is one of the main reasons people are leaving. Most people, the biggest cause of financial collapse in the United States, or for people that file bankruptcy, is from medical bills and healthcare. It's so costly here. And so it can really cause some financial ruin for people if they come down with some kind of an ailment where you're going to be needing healthcare for a long period of time, and you find out that, the insurance that you have really doesn't fully cover that.
Well, let me tell you, I was in the UK before we came to move here. I was supposed to see a specialist, and it took a year for them to contact me, by which time I've moved here. I've already seen a doctor. I've already got a diagnosis. No problem. There's nothing wrong. And they phoned me up and said, do you want an appointment? I said, I've already told your office that I'm actually moved. So, and also we should say our friend was in and out of hospital, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So we don't really, when we were in the UK, we were very fortunate. We didn't really go to hospitals or any, and we had to go back and forth with this 95-year-old gentleman. And let me tell you, it was like a third world country in our own country. It was just, he was on a very hard bed for over 24 hours. And that's not just where we are. We know there's stories from all over. So even our own, and ours is free, really, at the point of service. For us, it's free, health service. But oh my gosh, if that's free, then we go here. If I go in and make an appointment, I get the same day or maybe the next day.
No, that's great. Usually we end with healthcare, but that's fine. Now we got it covered. Well, let's dive into rent. So for the people that move there, they need a place to live. So what do rentals start out for? And then let's dive into what can you, if after a period of a few months or even a year, they're there and they're like, oh, wow, we love this area. Now let's look at some real estate and give us an idea what you can purchase a home for in your area. So let's start out with rents and then real estate homes.
So a flat, the rent, did we have buying rental? Here we are. So a one bedroom flat, it's really weird. I went on especially because I wanted to be accurate. Like I know what it was last year, but I wanted to check. So one bed flat in quite a large town near us. And it's about, how many population there?
20,000.
20,000, which doesn't sound a lot, but there's a hospital, there's everything you could ever want, loads of shops. So a one bedroom flat there is 350 euros a month.
Okay.
Okay. But a house, a 3 to 5 bedroom, we looked at that, you're looking at about 600 to 900 a month. And that's average, just, you know, and they're quite decent sizes, aren't they? I will say that. One thing, their bathrooms over here are incredible, you know, compared to our British bathrooms. So yeah,
Debbie, what town is that? It's
called Alcalá. So it's ALCA.
LA.
And then it's LA separate. Alcalá. Alcalá. La Real. Sorry. It's basically taken from the Moorish. That town or this area, we've done a lot of history here. It was
occupied by the Moors
for centuries,
600 years.
600 years occupied.
Wow.
In the beautiful architecture. Anyway, so that's the town where I got, and that's about how far from us?
It's
30 minutes, 25 minutes.
25 minutes. About 15 miles.
Yeah.
All right. So you can rentals start at 350 bucks or 350 euros, and then houses are anywhere from 600 to 900 for 3 to 5 bedroom house.
Exactly. And the other thing which you won't find here that you've got on the coast, that would be a full year. Whereas on the coast in Malaga, Granada, they tend to do maybe 10 months or 6 months or 9 months. Here, once you're in, you're virtually, that's it, isn't it? Unless you want to move.
Yeah.
You haven't got that constant, see, you're not battling massive tourists or lots of different cultures coming in to take rent.
Unfortunately, that's the Airbnb issue, is that all these rentals turned into Airbnbs, and a lot of these landlords will not rent year round anymore in desirable areas because they make so much money during the summer months. That's problematic for sure.
Don't have it, do we?
No.
You know, there are Airbnbs here, but they're in a really specific areas,
very few, far between, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so they live there, they love it. They're like going, wow, we love Alcalá, La Real. They love it. They're like going, oh, and it's got these beautiful tiles everywhere from the, you know, because of the influence of the Moors that lived here for 600 years. It's just gorgeous architecture. We want to buy a house. Now we want to buy. So what is real estate going for in that area?
We've just bought a second house there. That's how cheap it is here. Okay.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is, because when we get older, we're kind of thinking ahead, and we do a lot of things in Alcalá. And because of that, we said, it's so cheap. I mean, we could have that as a holiday, a couple of weekends here, a couple of weeks. This is our country home. That's our town home. Okay. So a flat, you're looking at 60,000 to 80,000 euros. And that's on average. You don't get small flats here, because we looked at flats weirdly before we bought this second house. And there was a 3-bedroom, and I mean, this place was huge, right? And it was, if you love tiles, I'm telling you now, halfway up the wall, all the way, beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. It didn't have aircon. but that was 60,000
And
euros.
that's a flat.
Yeah. And it was like a house, wasn't it, inside?
Yeah.
The only reason we decided, because we said, you know what, we want our own walls, we're used to it here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then a house in Alcalá, again, between 60 and 150,000 euros. That's why we bought a house as well, because for the 60,000, we've just paid 82,000 for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, beautiful, nothing to do. It's got aircon, it's had the electrics done, it's been decorated.
Nothing to do, is it?
It's fully furnished. The other thing we should take here, I don't know whether this happens, I don't think this happens on the coast. Every house you buy here, and this is without exception, they leave furniture.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, some of it, okay, may not be your jam, but I love to refurbish, so I painted it. So every room had furniture in this house. The bedrooms have got it's all, this woman was British who bought it, basically, and she loved it, and she went, oh, thank goodness for us.
Yeah.
She's done all the tiling, she's done all every light fitting and light switch and plug switch has been changed, and air conditioning. And so it's difficult to tell you. I should have looked at
the bedrooms. 3 of the bedrooms, definitely, you would be able to get a super king bed in.
Yeah.
So they are quite good size. They have built-in wardrobes as well.
Yeah.
So
dressing tables, bedside cabinets.
They are good size.
They're not small.
Rooms. They're not small by any means.
So this is the second house you guys bought, and that's in close proximity to where this house that you're currently sitting is at.
And the reason for that was a couple of things. We were always going to do it, but we kind of said, you know what? It happened to come up, same company we used before, so we trust them. There's this rapport with us. And they showed us a few, and they were all like, oh, that's too many stairs, that was. So this one is just...
We were just kind of thinking ahead, because where we live now, we're in a small village. It's okay, we both drive at the moment, but say 15 years from now,
20 years,
or 20 years from now, we may not be able to drive. So we wanted to be able to have a place in a town where we could walk to the shops, we can walk to the bar, for a drink.
Exactly. There's a hospital there.
There's great transport from Alcalá to Granada.
There's a bus straight
regular
there.
Bus service from there.
The bus station. That's why she's saying,
you guys, it sounds like when you guys you're learning the lay of the land, and now you bought this place sight unseen, and you move in, and it's gorgeous, and yet now you're like looking around, and you're like going, oh, look over here.
I know.
It's like it's like in a candy shop, right? You find more appealing places. And then you're right, Merv, I love the idea of just being able to walk everywhere where you don't have to get in a car.
Yes. And I should say, we're doing a very typical Spanish thing. A lot of the people in this village have a home somewhere else. They have a little this is very countrified. So I can go out my front door, it's roads, but not far, and you're in the middle of nowhere. It's amazing. The walks here are incredible. But if you want a bit of nightlife, you want a bit of Alcalá is your place because it's got everything. And I think we always said, didn't we? We're not going to give up this house.
No, I mean,
we absolutely
love it, but we just we didn't intend to do it now, buy another property, but it just
couldn't help it.
We couldn't help it. It's such a great house.
How big is the house you live in currently that you bought sight unseen, and how much did you pay for that?
We paid,
it was something like 350 square meters.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay, wow.
2 living rooms. This is a small living room. Across there's a huge, maybe 3 times the size, and then you have a hallway, and then through that door at the back is the kitchen, and there's a bedroom downstairs. That's what the Spanish typically have, but you could use it as a dining room. We've got a bedroom in there. And then upstairs, we've got another 3 bedrooms. And you've got a bathroom downstairs, bathroom upstairs.
Then we've got another room on the end.
Which
hasn't been developed.
We're now in the process of doing... See, that's the other reason why we've got a house in Alcalá now. because we can stay there while we get this refurbed. So it's nice and no upsetting for us. We can go and enjoy ourselves while we leave the guys. But upstairs, on the other side of the house, they must have kept cattle or something in it.
I think
It's huge.
hay for
the animals.
animals.
It's a massive pitch roof. It's almost like a barn, isn't it? Kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's huge. So we're going to get that roof done and the floor done. And we've got a garage as well. The patio, how long, lengths and things.
Terrace.
The terrace is ridiculous.
30 meters long, I guess, at the front of the house.
So this is a 350 square meter house that you guys purchased sight unseen.
Now, don't get me wrong, there was no aircon in here. They didn't even have a fire. Merv put the fire in. Fire cost us €200. A proper log burner. And that was it. We got a guy to do the pipe, didn't we? And you put the rest of it in. So, and the aircon here,
Really
two units, 1,000, and that was fitting as well from our great electrician. He's amazing. €1,000 for
1,200, €600.
Oh, €600 a unit. So how much was it in total?
1,200.
1,200 for fitting and for the actual aircon units. And because this is an older house, he had to put more kind of cabling.
Sure.
So it was like a little bit more expensive, because remember he said?
Yeah, it was only for a...
So, do you know that's cheap? If you did that in the UK, it would cost you a fortune.
Sure.
Really.
So labor, very affordable. Well, what did you guys pay for this house?
€54,000, which works out at the time it was £47,000.
You guys basically purchased 2 homes in one of the most beautiful countries in the world for about 136,000 euros.
One of them's completely done. This one, there's not much left, really. We've decorated and done bits. It's quite rural, this one, anyway, so we're not going to go crazy with it. But even with some of the altercations where it's not going to cost that much, is it?
I mean, there isn't a great deal needs doing. Like, the bathrooms need updating, a bit, we would like them, but just a bit more modern.
Tiles are cheap.
Tiles are really cheap.
Cheap as.
Well, let me ask you this. For the people that are going, boy, I wouldn't mind doing that too. I wouldn't mind buying and you guys, like you say, you're a little bit off the beaten path. You're going to places and living in areas that a lot of people avoid. If you wanted to get out, I mean, is the resale value on these homes? Is it good? I mean, can you get rid of them if you need to? That's the problem with Italy. A lot of times you buy a home in Italy, you buy a home in the middle of Italy somewhere in some of these small rural towns, you're stuck with it. You're never going to sell it.
No. And I think you got a point there, and that's what we would come on to. When we bought this, we did know that, because in the UK, if you buy somewhere in the UK or in America, you expect and expect and expect that you're going to make on it. That doesn't happen in this country.
No.
However, how I always said to Merv, we don't put anything in this house that we expect to have a return on, because we bought it, like you say, for 47. Bearing in mind the value was,
I think it was originally valued at roughly 110,000.
110,000 euros valued at. So we kind of made the thing of, right, do you know what? We have gone into this with this mindset of, right, here, we're not going to make it. Saying that in Alcalá, the other house, 82,000 euros, that is definitely going to have a return. It's in the center of everything. It's in the old, I should tell you, it's in the old historic town. Is exactly where we wanted to be. Not the new bit's okay, isn't it? But the old town is stunning. It's just like water fountains and old churches. We're right, you can actually see the castle from ours, can't you, in the street? So I to be honest with you, I suppose as well, the other thing you've got to get your head around is use the mindset of, it's so cheap, right? That even if you just gave it to a friend.
That's kind of what happens in parts of Italy, and I'm guessing in other, like there's hand-me-downs. They can't sell the houses, and so they hand them over to maybe distant relatives or friends. I know that it's happened to one of my friends here in the U.S. who's of Italian ancestry, was just given a house. because they don't sell.
If you think, right, I'm doing this because I want to make my life more comfortable, not just to kind of make a profit, then that's probably the best outlook to have when you're buying a property or looking at a property. I mean, this place we bought, we got it really cheap. There was a problem with the paperwork.
Yes.
Because the house originally was built on 2 plots of land, and we had to get the land registry changed and remeasured, as it was sold as 1 plot, not 2 plots. So
that all got done before we paid any.
That was one of the reasons we got it so cheap.
Yes.
I mean, Spain is one of the, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful places you could live in the world. So just to have property there, and you can always pass it down to your family, and you still have a property in this beautiful landscape, So it's really wonderful. All right, well, let's break down some of these costs of living per month, just to give the viewers an idea of what they would spend per month. Let's start with utilities. So what do you think they'd pay per month for utilities?
Electricity is €55 a month.
Okay.
And we have 3 aircon, washer, all our lights, TVs,
electric oven.
yeah.
Okay.
And then water is €20. You pay it in quarters here. You pay it every 3 months.
Oh, so that's 20 every 3 months. So that's $10.
No, 60.
€60. €60 a quarter, €20 a month.
Okay, gotcha.
But normally you pay it by every 3 months. So that's that. What else is there?
Do you have propane?
Gas bottles. Yeah, we have gas bottles. So the gas bottles, €10 a month, wasn't it? So cheap.
How about Wi-Fi and your cell phone?
Wi-Fi. Cell phone.
Cell phones cheap.
Yeah, is it €10?
We own our own phones. So
we
just have a SIM card, and we pay €10 each.
€10 each a month.
Okay.
When we're living in our small village, we do have fibre optic, which they put in 2 years ago.
As we moved in,
but
we saw them putting this pole up, and I said, "Oh my God, we've got fibre!" So it's incredible. It's fast.
It's great. It is a little bit expensive, I would say, just because we only have one provider for the village.
Yes.
So we have to pay pretty much. That's €38 a month.
€38.
So it's not.
But for UK, Merv,
it's not
for fibre.
It's not over expensive, but compared to the other house in Alcala, which we haven't got.
Well, we just got a couple more things to cover, so I wanted to cover, just give an idea what groceries would cost per month, and then restaurants. If you budgeted for restaurants, we'll talk about what a meal costs, what you can get a paella dish for. It's one of my favorites. And then the last thing is getting around. So groceries, what do you think people would need to budget per month in your community?
There's just 2 of us, and we eat very well. Langoustine, we weren't eating that often in the UK. Plenty of seafood, plenty of meat. The pork here, let me tell you, is just ridiculously good. I didn't eat pork in the UK. I do here. It tastes like it's like as if I've been blind for all my life and I've suddenly seen. So our bill a month is about €260.
I guess.
Yeah. So that's the shopping. In terms of eating out, it is ridiculous. There's menu del dia.
Menu del dia. Menu of the day.
Every day.
Pretty much most bars you can
Everywhere
go to.
Yeah.
You can find the menu del dia for roughly, I would say an average price is kind of €12. And that will be with a glass of wine. Or a beer or a soft drink.
And let me tell you, the restaurants here, again, the only place I used to eat fish or seafood was when I was in Italy, because it's stunning. It's incredible. Every bit of it. But I wouldn't really eat in the UK unless we were in a really nice restaurant. Here, oh my God, Santa Ana. Yeah. Oh my God. There's this restaurant called Tomatina. Oh my giddy aunt. They do a menu of the year. We had the white fish, didn't we? Yeah. And it's 3 courses. Stunning. And wine. Like I say, €12. So yeah, it is cheap. And coffee coffee is, oh my God,
Yeah, the coffee's great.
no
There's
big
one or
chains
two.
here.
There is
No,
one or two bars where it's
Mm.
not. I mean, you have
It's
to
just
try to
strong,
get
yeah.
used to it. But
Yeah.
if you don't like strong
Mm.
coffee, you're probably in the wrong place, I
Yeah.
guess. But
But there's no chains of like you won't
you
get
don't get the
a,
big chains.
you know, like on the coast you'd probably get Starbucks, and I'm not sure, but you get all of those, won't you?
Yeah.
You won't
Sure.
get any
But
of those
we
here.
don't
No
have
chains.
anything like.
They don't
anything
allow
like
it, do
that, so,
they? They don't allow it because
All right. Well, Merv and Debbie, thank you so much, you guys, for all of this information. You two are a lovely couple, and I could just tell you guys really love it there. It's
I know.
awesome to just talk to people who just fall in love with the place that they move to. And yeah, thanks for taking the time out to share all this information. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, honey.
Yeah.
Honestly, if anyone's out there and they want to do it, like we say, just do it. Don't think too much. Do your homework, do your research, add up your money and stuff like that. We did do the money, didn't we?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
all
we
the
did the money,
pensions
yeah.
and everything else. The other thing, make a will when you're here. Very important. Cheap as anything, but make a will because it doesn't naturally go in the UK and in America. It goes naturally, doesn't it? Even without a will. Here, no, the state will come in and that will be the end of it. So we made a will for our
Yeah.
family, haven't we? But yeah, that's the only other little bit of advice, make a will. But it's 200 euros, was it?
Yeah.
200 euros for a will. I know, for both of us. Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So other than that, yeah,
Yeah, it's been great chatting with you about
Totally.
our new lifestyle.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. And you guys have a great rest of your evening.
I know.
And then, yeah, and we'll be in touch. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Have a good one.